Good afternoon, Your Honors. May it please the Commission, my name is Bruce Burkett, and I represent the Mid-Atlantic Renewable Energy Coalition. In this proceeding, I am also the Coalition's Executive Director. MARIC, as we call the Coalition, is a Section 501c3 organization consisting of leading wind energy developers, wind turbine manufacturers, service companies, a transmission company, and several nonprofit organizations. We are dedicated to the growth of renewables in the region. This is the first time that MARIC is engaged in integrated resource planning in Virginia, but this is also the first time we've been engaged in any proceeding before the Virginia Commission. We've participated in IRP planning dockets in North Carolina and Delaware. We think these are extremely important processes that really have a tremendous impact on a number of issues affecting a particular state and also our industry. MARIC believes that Virginia is a very important state. The state has the potential for wind project development within the state's borders. There's also the possibility of selling output from wind energy projects from other states. Wind energy participating in Dominion's plan would serve several important purposes. Dominion's purchases of renewable energy would be consistent with state policies such as the Renewable Energy Portfolio Standard. It's consistent with the integrated resource planning requirements in the state. I want to point out that MARIC's witness, Eric Thumma, his testimony describes a competitive solicitation process for renewables that is consistent with least cost planning principles that would have an effect over the long term. If solicitation were to produce results that are not consistent with market prices under Mr. Thumma's proposal, Dominion would not have to select these resources. He will describe that in his testimony. Actually, it is described in his testimony, but I'm sure there will be further discussion with regard to his proposal as we move forward in this proceeding. Because wind energy has zero fuel costs and is a zero emitting resource, it acts as a hedge against volatile natural gas prices. For instance, this past winter's price spikes shows that natural gas is not immune from price volatility. I think we'll see some testimony today from some of the other parties that talk about the stability, or at least the reasonableness of natural gas prices and how they've come down, but there's certainly no guarantee that natural gas prices will remain where they are, factor up higher at the present time, and certainly spike to much higher levels this past winter. What is very perplexing about the company's IRP and what we feel is a defect in both the base and the fuel diversity cases of the company's IRP is that both of these cases rely extensively on natural gas and do not incorporate enough renewable energy like wind energy to mitigate that risk. And that's even though the company acknowledges the need to diversify its energy resource portfolio, but we think that its plan falls well short. It needs to be modified to provide greater consideration of wind energy and other renewable resources. We believe the evidence will show this deficiency and the ability of resources like wind energy to help remedy the situation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Burkett. Welcome.
Thank you.
May it please the Commission, my name is Sarah Ford, and along with my co-counsel Angela Navarro, I represent Chesapeake Climate Action Network, Appalachian Voices, and the Virginia chapter of the Sierra Club of the Environmental Respondents. We appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today about Dominion's 2013 Integrated Resource Plan. By its nature, this hearing is likely to focus on the disagreements between the parties about the company's 2013 IRP, but let's begin with the point of agreement. The parties all agree that the electric utility industry is facing significant uncertainties and that the company must plan for those uncertainties. This IRP presents a snapshot into how the company is doing that planning. Environmental respondents will present the testimony of two expert witnesses, John Athas and Carl Rabigo, who will highlight the inadequacies in the company's approach to planning. First, they will highlight ways in which the company's plan doesn't accurately describe the world as it looks today, let alone the way the world will look 15 years from now. Carl Rabigo will set forth inadequacies and aspects of the company's solar modeling. In particular, he will discuss the company's failure to incorporate behind-the-meter generation in the company's plan at all, including generation that is currently installed and providing the company's customers with power through the net metering program. He will also discuss inadequacies in the company's evaluation of non-utility generation, in particular through solar power purchase agreements. His testimony will show that the company has already entered into PPAs for more solar capacity than it projected it would enter into for the entire planning period, and that there is the potential for far more energy from these resources. John Athas will highlight concerns with the way the company accounts for energy savings from demand-side management programs. As he will testify further, the company's plan assumes that there will be zero new energy efficiency or peak shaving programs in the company's territory after the year 2015, despite the fact that the company is currently conducting a market potential study of nearly 200 possible efficiency measures. In addition, our experts will also address significant deficiencies in the way the company is planning for and addressing future uncertainties. As the company's own witnesses will testify, the impact of carbon regulations on the cost effectiveness of the company's proposed plan is likely to be material. Yet while the company has modeled both a high and a low case scenario for virtually every other variable that they've identified in their plan, high and low load growth, high and low fuel costs, high and low construction costs, high and low transmission and distribution costs, high and low REC sales. When it comes to carbon, the only alternative price that the company has considered is zero. John Athas will also describe to you the shortcomings in the company's alternative plan analyses. In each of its alternative plans, the company has fixed many of the resources that strategists may choose, rather than allowing the model to select an optimum mix of resources to meet an articulated and quantified risk. Finally, Mr. Athas will discuss the shortcomings in the company's study of rate design. He will note that the rate design analysis is based on alternatives that are not sufficiently varied, and that the evaluation overall is not integrated into the IRP in a way that could capture demand impacts. In the face of uncertainty and changing markets, robust long-term planning becomes more important, not less so. The decisions that the company is making today about how to evaluate its resource mix and plan for the future are already having consequences for the company's ratepayers, and they will continue to do so in the years ahead. The evidence before you in this proceeding will demonstrate that the company has not conducted the type of robust analysis that the situation demands. It is for that reason that environmental respondents believe that the plan should be rejected. And specifically, we ask the Commission to require the company to do the following things. First, the Commission should direct the company to include behind-the-meter generation, including from net metering, in its base case planning assumptions. Second, the Commission should direct the company to account for solar power purchase agreements in quantities and at costs that are actually being seen in the market. Third, the Commission should direct the company to model a comprehensive suite of cost-effective efficiency measures in future IRP proceedings, including those that should be identified in the company's yet-to-be-released market potential study. Fourth, the Commission should direct the company to model both a low and a high carbon cost scenario. Fifth, the Commission should direct the company to work through a stakeholder process to develop alternative plan analyses that are based on articulated and quantified risks, and that allow strategists to optimize the resource mix that will meet those risks. And sixth, the Commission should direct the company to integrate rate design analysis into the rest of the plan, and to use these scenarios as a means of truly exploring the impact that alternative rate designs can have on demand. With that, I thank the commission for its time and we look forward to discussing these issues further.